Hi everyone, Vladimir is here and today I'm going to do a short review of the game called Drifting Lands. Drifting Lands is an interesting take on a shoot 'em up genre that involves adding random item generation and leveling. Think of a mix between Diablo and Raptor, Call of the Shadows. The game starts by revealing that the world as you know it has been destroyed due to some disaster. The pieces of earth float together, so most of the life happens on those floating shards. Hence the name of the game, Drifting Lands. The process is pretty straightforward. You have to fly through the levels, destroy enemies, pick randomly generated loot most of the time. There are some alternatives like smuggling, you need to drop some cargo on a specific area of the level, which brings some variety to a traditional gameplay. But yeah, most of the time you're just flying around and destroying stuff. After the level ends, you can upgrade your ship, sell the items you won't be using or purchase the new ones. The game has plenty of good sides. Namely, shoot 'em ups are very reliant on the core gameplay loop. Destroying enemies and dodging bullets, and well, I'm happy to say that the Drifting Lands delivers on that. A good addition to the gameplay are usable player skills. You can select and take 4 out of 30 plus skills into the battle. Skills like Flame Burst that damages everything before you, Special Shield that absorbs bullets for 2 seconds, all sorts of dashes, various weapon boosts, mines, passive abilities that affect the loot and money earned, and needless to say, this introduces a great variety and makes player adapt to the style, or rather game adapt to the player. The loot system also helps with that, because there are a lot of stats and weapons and items can contribute greatly to boosting the ones that you actually want boosted. I remember that I thought that it is impossible to make a beautiful 3D shoot 'em up, and I'm actually glad that I was wrong. Drifting Lands introduces amazing graphics and colorful effects. The game feels very alive because of that. Shining bullets, colorful explosions, great player ship animations, all this adds to the immersion of the game. Having said that, the game has some bad sides. First, it's the backgrounds. And don't get me wrong, they are drawn very well, but they still remain somewhat unremarkable and unnoticed. One thing that is often seen in good shoot 'em ups is varying landscape on every level. After you play the level a few times, you remember how it was. For example, what obstacles you encountered and what enemies were behind them or maybe near them or where maybe spawned and the moment where you were passing through them. Background plays a huge role in that. If the level has enemies after, for example, mountains, those mountains help you understand and improve on the next playthrough because you know where to anticipate such enemies. And there's no such thing here. I understand that the game relies on random generation a lot, but most of the levels I've played were simply floating rocks in the background, and sometimes there were tornadoes. So the color and gamma change occasionally, but there are rarely any remarkable landmarks that can be seen, and because of that, this repetitive feeling appears, like when you are moving in the same place and nothing is going on. So yeah, it kind of breaks the immersion a bit. And second, the levels often offer randomly generated enemy sequences, but there are just too many levels and too few enemy types, especially in the beginning of the game. So after some time it just starts to feel like a grind. And I've played the game for about 5 hours and I still enjoy it, but I think it's one of the few times when I really wanted a good game to be a bit shorter and maybe more focused on the objective and plot instead of asking to do similar missions with similar enemies multiple times. But overall, while having a few noticeable flaws, Drifting Lands does a lot of things right. The gameplay is action-packed and challenging. The management layer that comes from items, ship upgrades and abilities make the gameplay much more engaging. And if you enjoy shoot 'em ups and are not afraid of replaying similar levels multiple times, I can strongly recommend the game to you because it is enjoyable, it is beautiful, and it adds something new to the genre. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more game reviews, check out shortgamereviews.com. Like us on Facebook or join our Steam group, link below. Vladimir is out, bye!